Hi, I'm Joni Patry, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Well, today I want to talk about the full moon in November. And this full moon happens November 15th. And this is a very interesting full moon because it is at the very last degree of Aries, 29 degrees. And of course, when we have this full moon, it means the sun and the moon are in exact opposition. So the sun sits at 29 Libra and the moon at 29 Aries. Now the moon is in the nakshatra called Kritika. And let me remind everyone, I am a Vedic astrologer. I do the sidereal positions. So if you're thinking, oh, wait a minute, that's not what I heard, that the full moon is in Aries. That's because you're listening to the Western tropical positions. I do the Vedic sidereal, which are astronomically correct according to astronomy. Now, before I get going, once I get going, I will be in the flow, but I want to remind everyone to sign up for my free newsletter. Get all of my predictions delivered to your email address free every week. While you're at my website, galacticcenter.org, and you sign up for my free newsletter, remember to check out my Patreon page. Become part of a spiritual community. You will be amazed at all the opportunities, the weekly classes, live classes with me. The magazine, it comes with that. As well as, don't forget, we're going to be having spiritual stories where everyone gets to share a spiritual experience in their life and we can learn from each other. And last but not least, let me tell you about my Galactic Planner. Sign up for my Galactic Planner. You're missing out. This will take your chart, calculate everything from your chart, give you your transits every day so you know what each day to be prepared for. And it's delivered to your calendar on your phone or your computer so you will see it every day. Be prepared using astrology. galacticplanner.com. Now, let's continue on with this incredible full moon. So the full moon is in Aries, but it's in the nakshatra called Kritika. And Kritika is, its symbol is a sword, is a knife. This is cutting, this is intense. And Kritika is one of the nakshatras that deals wholly and specifically with protection. The need for protection. So this is a very harsh and cutting nakshatra. It goes to the core and cuts out things. Doesn't put up with any nonsense. And as we know, by the 15th of November, we are past Election Day. And of course, we've got a chaotic world. The United States will be in chaos for quite some time. And right around this time, we've had Saturn turn direct. Saturn is standing still at the midpoint of November. And this intensifies everything Saturn has to deal with. Responsibility, a heavy feeling. It's in Aquarius. Heavy feeling about the prospect of where humanity's going. Karma is taking its toll on everyone now. But going back to the full moon, it's brought things to a point of culmination, of fruition. And I think it's so interesting that this full moon, is at the very last degree of a sign, 29 degrees of Aries. And Aries is the sign of beginnings. But being at the last degree of this sign of beginnings, I think it means it's the beginning of the end. And people are enraged and people are angry with this moon being not only in Aries, but in the nakshatra Kritika, because Kritika can have a temper. It really, really can. Now, another thing that I feel is really important, that soon after This full moon, Jupiter and Mercury will oppose each other November 18th, exactly at 24 degrees. Jupiter 24 Taurus and Mercury 24 Scorpio. These are planets that deal with communications and travel. Big things are occurring. Mercury is about to turn retrograde by the 25th of this month. So everything to do with where we stand, with what's going on, probably with the elections, everything's going to be turned around. Everything's going to shift. This could mean that who's won the elections, they take it away. Or they've taken it away and given it back. It is so confusing during this time. There is mass confusion because whoever wins this election will not go down peacefully. There will be riots over the results of these elections. What I find interesting too is on the 25th, when Mercury turns retrograde, it will be at 28 degrees of Scorpio. This means it's Gandanta, the last few degrees of a water sign. It's 28, 29 degrees. It's very Gandanta. What is Gandanta? Gandanta actually means not, but what it means is losing control. Emotionally, we have got Mars in Cancer, emotions, needing protection, could be all-out attacks and wars with this. And then we have Mercury slowing down and retrograding in Scorpio. These were two water signs. Water is emotion. And Gandanta can sometimes represent the feeling of drowning, like you can't get a hold of anything. And this is what's going on intellectually and mentally, and with the rhetoric and communications that are going on in the world, because Mercury rules communications. It's a mess. But it is the beginning but an end of something, with the moon being 29 degrees of Aries. So the good news is the very next day the moon will be in Taurus, which will start to align with Jupiter, which will make things a bit easier. But all in all, this is the full moon. What it represents is this is the culmination point of what the new moon brought about 2 weeks ago on November 1st. And there is chaos in the air with Mars still in opposition with Pluto. And Mars, when it turns retrograde, is going to align in opposition with Pluto again and again. So if you think things are blowing up now, there's more to come. And this full moon tells us it's the beginning of the end of something. The sun also sits at 29 degrees, which is both the sun and the moon are at the last degrees of a sign, representing the end of something. Is it the end of an era, the end of politics, the end of the way we view things, the way we see things, the end of justice, the end? There's so much that's ending. But guess what? When you have an ending, what does that mean? It's always a beginning. So I think it's the end of an era, but a new beginning of something entirely different. That's what this full moon is bringing to our consciousness and our awareness. Just make sure you don't get too emotionally involved in all of the insanity and chaos going on. Why? because it's all going to work out anyway. It's telling me that this needs to blow up and blow out so that we can have a healing. Be aware this full moon is telling us something that we need to know, that all of this needed to happen for a divine reason, and the world is going through an incredible catharsis and transformation. But something new is going to be born out of all of this. So surrender and let the divine take care of the business that is happening right now, and so it will be. So with that, I think I'll close. If you would like more information on me, a reading, you would like to sign up for my free newsletter, join Patreon, go to galacticcenter.org and sign up for my Galactic Planner, which is galacticplanner.com. And if you want to study with me, go to universityofvedicastrology.com. Thank you.